Donald Trump's hush money trial resumes this morning in Lower Manhattan. Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, is expected back on the stand for cross-examination. Now, on Tuesday, the defense attempted to paint Cohen as a vengeful liar, and several GOP lawmakers traveled to New York to publicly defend Trump against his allegations. Our chief election and campaign correspondent, Robert Costa, joins us now from just outside of the courthouse. All right, so it's on to the defense, and they kind of spent a lot of time focusing on Cohen's possible motivation, as you heard, that he was vengeful, that he was an opportunist. But I don't know if they spent a lot of time discrediting his assertion that Donald Trump was in on this scheme. So what do we expect to hear from the defense today?
You're going to hear from the defense attorneys for former President Donald Trump a real probe into Cohen's explanation of why different events took place and why different decisions were made by him in the run-up to the 2016 election. And what Trump's defense lawyers want to do, I'm told by sources close to this case, is show that in their view, Trump never had criminal intent. That he saw Michael Cohen as a personal lawyer, someone he paid money to, sometimes to fix his problems. But in the Trump defense view, he never had criminal intent as a candidate to obstruct the election or in some way hide material, that he was enabling Michael Cohen to be Michael Cohen, and that wasn't a crime. We'll see if the jury buys that argument, because Cohen keeps bringing Trump into the picture, whether it's through testimony or through documentation.
And so we expect Michael Cohen to finish up today, right? And then essentially that's the prosecution's case?
That the prosecution has rested its case with Michael Cohen as its final witness. The defense team for former President Trump is still considering whether to bring additional witnesses forward. It is certainly possible, including the possibility, that Trump himself might take the stand. Remember, it was just weeks ago I was at Mar-a-Lago and I asked Trump, would you be willing to take the stand? And he said, of course I would. Now, a willingness to take the stand is a lot different than making the decision to take the stand. There is risk, of course, that comes with that. Everything you say is under oath, and it must be the truth.
So we saw a number of Trump allies appear at the courthouse on Tuesday. I don't know if anyone's going to be showing up again today. They kind of operated a little bit as, Donald Trump's mouthpiece, saying some of the things that he can't say because of the gag order. But I imagine that this is not just about the court case. It's also about politics and campaigning. And how does this sort of play into his campaign strategy?
You can sense here outside the courthouse a bit of deflation in terms of the energy. Part of it's the weather. It's a rainy day here in New York. There are a few Trump supporters in the park nearby, some Trump critics, but in no way is this an electric scene politically. It was just a few days ago with House Speaker Mike Johnson showing up, didn't take questions from reporters, but was here along with others to show solidarity with Trump. I'm told by sources close to Trump that there might be a few Republican members of Congress who come here today to mingle with reporters, to maybe make a statement, but the action's inside the courtroom, at least for now, not outside.
We know that Trump's defense team is now asking New York's high court to review that gag order. Robert, we know you'll stay on top of it. Thanks.